Ever felt like you're spinning your wheels but aren't getting anywhere? We've all been there. Overthinking everything, procrastinating, feeling like pretty much every single idea is doomed before you even begin. But here's what I've learned over the last 10 years of my career, and also before that within sports, is momentum is everything. Momentum isn't actually magic, it's a habit. In this video, I'll show you a load of hints and tips to help you along that way and hopefully help you create and make those first few steps in order for you to actually start building this momentum up in the right direction. You may know what sort of life you want, but you don't necessarily know the first couple of steps in order to actually achieve it. So we're going to break this down into 5 sections. Section 1, why we get stuck. Section 2 is going to be covering a 3-step framework of how to actually build momentum. Section 3 will chuck in some real life examples. Section 4 is going to be the actual psychology of momentum. And then section 5 is how we can actually start today. So let's dive into section 1, why we get stuck. So let's be real, everyone gets stuck at some point. Whether it's in work, whether it's in the gym, whether it's in just life in general, everyone does. There's always going to be moments where you feel frozen. Now, this isn't because you're lazy or unmotivated. It's usually down to you just feeling fairly overwhelmed and not necessarily knowing the right steps to take in order to start building that momentum back up again. A lot of the time people try far too many things, and trying a lot of these smaller individual tasks without doing them consistently is actually the thing that is killing your momentum. So for instance, with this YouTube channel, I actually spent hours and hours and hours researching how to actually create a YouTube video, how to create the thumbnails, how to write scripts, but I actually ended up learning far more just actually putting my first video out there. Yes, it's scrappy. Yes, it's not a complete finished article, but I learned a hell of a lot actually in terms of actually how I actually like to work, or how I can actually build a script myself, how to even doing the basic edits within these videos, how to actually create really simple thumbnails, and really start figuring out, okay, what I can actually do in order to start actually providing more and more value to any of the viewers that are actually watching this. So you need to start small. So let's have a look at section 2, the 3-step framework that is actually going to help you build momentum. Step 1. Pick the smallest possible steps to work on first. So forget your big goal for a second. Forget about going viral or making your first 10K month. Find the smallest step in which you can actually take right now, and then try to do that consistently over a certain amount of time. This can be as simple as doing 1 LinkedIn post per day, or it can be as simple as doing 1 simple outreach towards a potential client every single day. These tiny steps are frictionless. You won't be able to talk yourself out of them. And once you actually make that first step, you're already in motion. There's a really nice quote from Ali Abdaal who says, "Clarity comes from action, not from thinking." Step 2, do it every single day, no matter what. So like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, consistency actually beats intensity. You really need to ensure that you're going to be consistent at this over a long period of time. So for instance, posting that 1 LinkedIn post every single day, reaching out to that 1 client every single day, spending an hour actually learning how to do something every single day, whether it's guitar or even, like I mentioned, the gym a lot, for instance. And over time, these small, simple steps and tasks that you're completing will start to become more of a habit than an actual chore. Once things start becoming habitual, that's when you can really start spending more and more time and effort on it. You'll just get better and better and better. And over time, as you see that you're able to tick off that particular task every single day, at the end of that 30-day period, you can then look back and say, right, brilliant, I've put out 30 pieces of content, or I've reached out to 30 clients. And that's when you really start building this momentum, and you actually get the feeling of you're building this momentum as well. Step 3, don't overcomplicate it. Even if you are doing the simplest of tasks over a long period of time, that's what's going to give you the most amount of momentum. Rather than actually doing it for 10, 20, 30 days and then thinking, oh, I can really go in on this and actually start doing more and more and more. Just work on the actual consistency for a little bit longer rather than trying to add more and more tasks onto your plate. So when it comes to these videos, for instance, I wanted to put these videos out every single week. I'm not that fussed about kind of super fancy editing. I'm not trying to create perfect copy that's going to resonate with absolutely everybody. I'm just trying to actually figure out a way that I can then take a lot of the information that's out of my head and hopefully then add some value to the viewers themselves. So let's have a look at some real live examples in this next section. So even if it's just 1 post per day, if you're posting once a day across an entire year, that's 365 posts from you as an individual. That's genuinely more posts than most people will do with it in their entire lifetime. 1 outreach a day. Even if you do this for 30 or even 100 days, out of those 100 days, if you're in a position then where you've actually got 99 no's but you have 1 yes, you're then in a position where you've actually got a paying customer. And it sometimes takes businesses years to get their first paying customer, even if they've raised tens of millions of dollars. Now, hopefully you will actually get a few more clients out of that 30 or 100-day period that you're doing these posts to all these individual businesses. But the point of this is you do actually genuinely need to just prove to yourself that you're able to do this simple task on a daily basis. And if you are actually doing this task on a daily basis, you will then start to actually feel much more confident. You will actually start to figure out what messaging aligns with what clients actually want, what resonates the most in a post potentially. You'll be able then to improve on all of this. Even then, if you still are feeling a little bit stuck, you know you've actually got certain tasks that are just keeping these wheels in motion and you're consistently actually moving forward. So section 4, let's actually have a look at the psychology of momentum. Now, this is actually where I think a lot of the magic happens. So when you're taking these small little steps, like I mentioned in the last section, you're not necessarily just building up momentum, you're actually building up a lot of confidence. Each small win is like a psychological deposit in your self-belief bank. It's basically telling your brain, I can do this. And that's what actually makes those following on steps much easier. It's like compound interest. You're not going to see any results on the first day. You might not even see it on the 30th day. But across a 100-day period, you can then actually look back and realize those 1% increases on each individual day has now turned into a 100% difference across that entire time period. So let's look at how you can actually start today. So if you are feeling slightly stuck, here's a couple of things you can do right now. Pick one tiny step to take today. Make it so small that you cannot say no. Do it before you go to bed. Don't worry about timings, just do it. And then wake up tomorrow and repeat. And that's it. Forget about the big goals. Focus on building momentum now, and that will actually help you in turn get to where you need to be. Action beats overthinking, and tiny steps become huge breakthroughs if they're done consistently. Let me know what steps you're going to be taking in the comments below. And if you like this video, please do hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and follow on for more because there's going to be a lot more videos to unpack.